But then there's the Richard Hart 11K in pray. A lot of people are thinking that Bitcoin's going to hit 11K, and that would be the longest top to bottom, right? That would be a pretty, at this point, probably a breaking of the 4-year cycle. Do you think we're going to get 11K?
I wouldn't bet my life that we won't. You know, I also wouldn't bet that we will. Right. So I'm somewhere in the middle with this. I think it's as possible as any number of other things that we talked about. Right. And what do I mean by that? I mean, COVID dip, right? We can look at that on this chart since I have it up here. I mean, we clearly weren't in the throes of a bear, when the COVID dip hit, right? We'd already come out.
Mm-hmm.
Price had come up over the 111. This was coming up. We had the COVID dip that none of us really expected. I mean, in retrospect, it made sense. Yes, there was some special circumstances because of the COVID, right? But every big thing at least has some reason around it. That was another 60%.
Yeah.
62%. And so if you're looking at 60% off where we at right now at 22, right? And so
that's like 9.9 or something.
Yeah. So is it in the game? Yeah, it's like 9. So it is in the game? Sure. Why not?
Yeah. Okay, but if you had to choose one, because yeah.
I would choose I don't want to dip.
Okay, so
but that's me wanting. I mean, it's not me knowing what's going to happen and what's going to happen with it. Now, but I've already, I already have my plans in place, right? I'm already doing my thing. I'm already doing the DCA that I plan to do. I'm already doing the selling that I plan to sell, and when I have my plans because I thought it out far enough, and that might include not selling, and not buying. Oh, I got to tell you, I was addicted to it, so buying more.
well,
So it's kind of hard. It's hard to sit on the sidelines with very low prices and not buy. But
yeah, I just stick to the DCA, but no. So I said that it's very hard for me to see 11K. I mean, we had our sort of Mount Gox kind of situation with FTX. I mean, could it get any worse? I mean, I could think
God,
it was.
yes.
Yeah, but I mean, from the perspective of like the story of the bear market, it really seems like our black swan is in. The time frame of the 4-year cycle says the bottom's in. We're at the point where everybody that's holding Bitcoin at this point, they're probably not going to panic sell based on news because they would have sold already if that was the case, right? Does this mean we're going all-time highs? No. I mean, we could have another 60% dip, if pumping up after we pump to like 40K or whatever. I don't know. But it's like we're so oversold and there's been so much pain thrown at us. And crypto is so fringe at this point. Nobody's touching it. Like, how much more downside could there be? I just can't imagine 11K happening. The only argument is that Richard Hart said otherwise, but for me, that's not good enough. But what do you think about what I just said?
I have, I have mixed feelings, but I think it can happen. Maybe the percentage changes have dropped. It's not going to happen. But I see Johnny, so you're talking about him the whole stream.
Yeah, Johnny's got some rewinding to do. I presented Chrispy Man with a lot of your thoughts on the OA and things like that.
Yeah, I couldn't answer him well, but I mean, yeah, I don't know which perspective to answer your question from. Yes, I think it's pretty likely the bottom is already in, and we've seen that, and then in 2 months we can confirm. But I also haven't put myself in a place where if we go to 11K, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah, me too.
And so, and maybe it sounds like fancy wording, but you know, I got a plan, man. I screwed up my plan a bunch of times, fell
Yep.
off the plan a bunch of times, put my plan back together. But the plan is to, have a trading plan, right? Or and I shouldn't even say trading, it's more like a staking plan. But what am I doing with my stakes and what I'm doing with my assets? And right now is a time where I don't want to lose any and little as possible. And later on, I think the market will swing up in that 4-year cycle we were talking about.